What is Agent Tug Beeps? OldManTup coming at you today with our Week 6 match of GBA Season 9 versus our boy Mewtwo fan Nate and the New York Noibats. A few housekeeping things. We have our Bucktooth Buckos of the week. There's two of them this week, and they are Reese and Sloan, two young swashbuckling fellows getting ready to join the ranks of the Pittsburgh Pirattatas. Big fans. Want to say thank you, and we give you our salute. They were nominated by their father. If you would like to nominate somebody this week, for this coming week, for Bucktooth Bucko of the week, even if it's yourself, let me know why you're the biggest Bucktooth Bucko and why you should be Bucktooth Bucko of the week. Also, leave your post-game press conference questions down below. There'll be a reminder again at the end of the video. But yeah, let's take a look at the matchup we got. We're going to lead with Diggersby this week. You can check out the team builder that was uploaded what will be yesterday to this video. Nate brought Mewtwo, no surprise there, it's his best mon, Sylveon, Seismitoad, Tornadus, Incarnate, Naganadel, and the Skarmory. So, a little surprised not to see Arcanine this week, because I really thought it did well against a lot of things on our team, that Intimidate being super good for him. But we'll have to wait and see what we can do. Not a lot of obvious Scarfers on his team. Naganadel doesn't want to be locked into a single move versus us. Tornadus, I would expect, if anything, would be his Scarfer. So like I said, we are going to lead with the Diggersby. Let's see if we can pull out a W this week against Nate and his New York Noibats. So we are leading out straight away with our Diggersby. It's Scarf. It will outspeed anything naturally on his team that isn't also Scarfed. So that is excelente. He is going to lead with the Mewtwo. We are going to U-turn right off the bat, see if he wants to stay in and take anything or not. Surprisingly enough to me, he does stay in. He takes a super effective U-turn and goes down to about 25 to 30% health. We're going to switch out El Scizor here, thinking maybe we would see a fighting type attack and or psychic. He does go for the grass, or yeah, energy ball. He's going to switch out here, not wanting to take a bullet punch to the face. We predict that, and we're just going to mega up and U-turn out. Now he does switch Skarmory in, so this is going to do next to no damage whatsoever. But it does give us a little bit of information. We U-turn out here, and we're going to see some recoil. So he is rocking the Rocky Helmet. So that is something we have to be mindful of while we're trying to take this down. We are going to go into Toshington, and we're just going to go for a knockoff. I mean, he wants to switch out anything, it's going to lose its item. He is going to go out into Abuse, which is his Sylveon, and had he stayed in, he would have lost his Rocky Helmet, which would have been really good for us. But we do knock the leftovers off of this thing, which is awesome. We're going to go for the Plasma Fist. We did expect a Hidden Power Fire coming out here, which was a nice early game prediction, because we really thought he would expect Mega Scizor to come out here. 2 Plasma Fists isn't going to be enough to take him down from the range he was. We're going to switch out here expecting a Protect, because otherwise he's going to also switch out, wanting to go into something to take a Plasma Fist, live, and get the Wish recovery. He's just going to switch out here. He's going to go right back out into Skarmory, and why wouldn't he? And we're just going to U-turn. We're going to keep that switch initiative. He doesn't have rocks or spikes up yet, which this Skarmory has the opportunity to set up both possibly. And we don't want to get too buried by Hazard. So we're just going to keep the pressure on it. We're going to go right back out. We are going to Plasma Fist here. We don't want to get too cheeky with predictions this early in the match. We are going to hit him with a Plasma Fist. Now, right here, we're just going to go for another Plasma Fist. We, again, like I said, we don't want to get too cheeky with predictions. I thought about going for the knockoff there, thinking he could switch in the Seismitoad, and the only way Seismitoad is going to come in, take a hit, and take a Grass Knot is if he has the Grassberry, the Rindo Berry. So I thought about knocking off here, but I didn't want this thing to be able to predict that live, because it doesn't have the leftovers, so it's going to do less damage than knockoff did the first time, which wasn't a lot because it's resisted, and him be able to just wish protect and be at half health and be able to just rinse and repeat that over and over again. So I am just going to Plasma Fist here. He is going to go into his Seismitoad, which is immune because ground type, and that's not good for us. Now, this play right here is going to seem a little strange. We are just going to Grass Knot. We could have knocked off thinking about the Rindo Berry, which we already had in the back of our mind, which probably would have been the smarter play at this point, because I thought maybe he would switch out. Seeing that we had knockoff, I was expecting this to be completely specially defensive to pair up well with his max defense. We did 200% of our move goal today, go us. With his max defense Skarmory, which is what he has. So that's what we were expecting this to be. I just kind of thought he might switch out into something, like back into Skarmory, expecting a Grass Knot again. Just to, I don't know, I guess I got two in my own head here. But I fully expected to live this attack. If he's max HP, max special defense, which I expect him to be, we live one Earthquake. So that was why I just went for the Grass Knot outright. I didn't want to get too cheeky. He's going to Earthquake us, that takes us all the way down, and it was a crit. Again, I did the damage calcs on the assumption that he is max special defense, max HP, which I believe him to be with a negative speed nature, because I believe he has Scald and Earthquake. So I don't expect any investment in attack, and even if he had a little bit, I think we had the opportunity to live that hit. So again, 99% certain that crit did have an effect. Could be wrong. Check out Nate's Team Builder and let me know, guys. We are going to go into Chunk because a neutral U-turn on this thing is going to do a ton of damage, which is why we're going to Fire Punch this turn. We're going to catch Skarmory on the switch in. It takes him down to 50% health, but he was well below full HP, so we're not doing half. So we are going to have to switch out. We don't want to be taking just residual hits. Rocky helmet damage, and the chance to burn him off of this is way too small to stay in and make that trade-off. So we're going to switch out, and this time we're going to go into Latias, our goodbye. And he's going to roost up here. As predicted, he needed to keep this thing healthy. It needs to be healthy. Now, I fully expect him to switch out into Seismitoad because even if he's sturdy, he doesn't want to take a Thunderbolt to the face because almost anything I bring in next can scare him out. So again, I fully expected him to switch out into something else, which is why you're going to see me go for a Psyshock here, which does, I think, -2 damage. And he's going to reveal the Whirlwind, which gives me a little bit more insight into this set, which makes me think he probably has Brave Bird as his last attack. He does Whirlwind this. He is going to set up the Stealth Rocks here. My apologies, I thought that got set up the turn before. But the Whirlwind gives us free Marvel Scale activation. We do Scald, don't snag the burn, unfortunately, but that is going to scare him out. We do think that possibly the Seismitoad will be coming out here, predicting another Scald. We do make the good prediction. I'm just going to slow it down here so I don't get caught up on my own words. We do make the good prediction. We Dragon Tail with Aerial, chasing out that Seismitoad, which is going to bring this in. Now, at this range, we're going to be relatively close to Scald killing. Unfortunately, it doesn't. We aren't going to snag a burn, and this will survive and be able to protect. We predict that. We are going to go for the recover. We want to be, just like that Skarmory, as close to full health as possible to be able to deal with as many potential threats on the enemy team as possible. He's going to switch out here. He's going to go in to hit your shots, and this is a really interesting sequence of events. We're going to go for the Scald, and we're going to snag the burn, and that is huge, and let me tell you why, because we're going to see the Black Sludge. We're going to be negating that Black Sludge recovery, and he's going to set up a substitute here. My fears are starting to come true. Worried about that Nasty Plot subset. We want to keep Mirror Coat in the back pocket because we don't want him to know that we have it, because it isn't going to help us against his substitute that much anyways. I mean, it probably would have killed this thing in one turn, but if he's not setting up Nasty Plots, I don't want to have to worry about it. I want to keep that in my back pocket. He hasn't set up a Nasty Plot yet. He's going for Sludge Waves, which are doing very, very low damage to where we can recover and have more health than what he's doing with the sludge bombs or Sludge Waves, whichever one it was. So we don't have to worry about that. Again, yep, Sludge Wave. We can Dragon Tail, and 2 Dragon Tails is killing these substitutes every time he sets one up. And at this range, I don't think he's going to want to set up a 3rd substitute, because he has to see at this point he isn't making any headway. No one's getting any crits, so we're pretty much just at a stalemate. And ultimately, he is losing more than I am, because he is down to about a quarter to a third health at this point, because he's subbing and not being able to get the recovery because I got the Scald Burn. So that was huge for us when it happened. Fully expecting him to switch out this turn. The only thing I thought he might have done at that range was go for a Draco Meteor if he was holding on to it, because that was as low as we had been. But we do just recover on the turn, which means that the Sylveon gets to come in for free. Now, we're going to hard switch out here, fully expecting a Wish to go up. Now, at the range he is, if we got a high roll, a Gunk Shot would kill it. It does right around 56%, I believe. So, had he gotten Shiki, yeah, we see it does well over 50% there, and just gone for the Hyper Voice, we would have been able to kill it there. But we do want to keep this thing as low health as possible, so it can't comfortably switch into a lot of the hits we want to do. Unfortunately, Greninja is going to have to go down to hit it that hard. Now, we fully expect the Skarmory to come out here, so we do just go for the Bullet Punch, as silly as that may seem. But we know that's going to put him below 50% health. We're probably going to be faster, but regardless, we're both going to be able to get a Roost up here, which is going to let me keep Mega Scizor healthy, which is a part of the plan, because it does a lot of work against his team, especially with that really hard-hitting priority. Now, I'm just thinking, why do you go for a Superpower there? A, it's a neutral hit. Regardless, we're going to have Rocky Helmet damage, and I'm fully expecting him to Whirlwind us out. So why switch out into something to take Rocks damage, to have it switched out with something else to take more Rocks damage? We go for the Superpower to keep as much damage on this thing as possible. That was the mindset there. He's going to go into Sylveon, which isn't going to want to take a pair of Scalds. That looks like it's close to possibly 2-hit KOing. At that point, we do burn, and because of the burn damage, that puts it well within the range that a second Scald is going to kill it. So we are getting lucky with our opportune burns here. Now, he is going to bring out this Mewtwo. Now, I ran, again, another set I ran the calcs against in-game with a max special attacking Mewtwo at this range, a standard Smogon set that isn't choice specs, does not kill with an energy ball at this range. So I'm going to stay in. I'm going to use that Mirror Coat that I kept in my back pocket. No, I'm not. Another critical hit, which again, 99% certain that mattered immensely, because this Mewtwo would have been down at this point. Otherwise, I am fully convinced the damage it would have done to us would have been relegated by the Mirror Coat. He's going to go right back out into his Skarmory. We're going to U-turn, go out into a Latias of our own after the Rocky Helmet recoil damage. And we're going to go into Latias, like I said. We're just going to drop a Thunderbolt this time. There's no reason to be cheeky around it. I'm still... now that he's running out of things to switch in because Sylveon's down, he can't pass health to anything. We outspeed a lot of the stuff on his team. He doesn't really have a super safe switch in, considering that I Psyshock last time, so he can't go into Naganadel expecting a Thunderbolt. He could go into the Seismitoad, but again, if I click the Psyshock, it's going to do a huge amount of damage and it won't be able to take a second one. So I do just click the Thunderbolt here. He stayed in the last time, he could stay in again, and if he does, this thing goes down and Diggersby has a heyday. And that is kind of what we're looking for. So we're at almost full health. He's going to go into Tornadus here. And I don't think he's going to be able to do anything to one-shot us at this point. He is just going to U-turn out. I really should have set up a Calm Mind there, but I didn't. We just go for the Thunderbolt to get that damage off. He does go back out into Seismitoad. He's going to make a double switch like a madman and go right back out into this Mewtwo. Now, as I had stated, had I set up a Calm Mind that turn, that Psyshock would have done more damage and our next attack would have done more damage. And this Signal Beam would have done considerably less damage. And again, had I set up that Calm Mind that turn, this Mewtwo would have been dead at this point, which means Latias would have still been alive. Granted, Tornadus could have still come in and killed it, but we wouldn't have to switch in something right here in order to kill it, which is going to be Chunk, and we're just going to get the U-turn off on it anyways. But we're getting low on Pokemon. Right now, we're down 2 to 3, and we have a Choice Scarfed, Frustration using Diggersby right now, and I'm just like, oh, I'm going to outspeed this thing. Then I'm just like, oh, he's Prankster Tailwind. So he's got a Tailwind up, which isn't good for us at all, because that means everything on his team's going to outspeed Mega Scizor now. Even though I do have the Bullet Punch, he is my best option as of right now, because even though Diggersby's Choice Scarfed, he isn't going to be outspeeding a lot of things. So this is going to come in, and here's where we're going to have to get really fortunate. We have to, well, first off, he has to stay in here and not sack this thing. So we are going to be able to get the Bullet Punch off. He does go down. He's going to bring out STD, which is his Seismitoad, and ultimately what has to happen is we have to U-turn him. U-turn has to do at least half of the health he has left, and then Tailwind has to peter out this turn and us kill it with a second U-turn in order to win. So if he has Scald, we also have to not get burnt by Scald, because if he burns us by Scald, he's just going to beat us 1v1, pretty sure, because we don't have the Swords Dance. So he is going to Scald, and this is the moment of truth. Does it burn us? It does not. We're going to U-turn, and we're going to see it does well below half. And what's that? The winds of change are blowing?
It's not over.
Still a fight to be had. We've an armada against us.
You will listen to me.
Listen! The Brethren will still be looking here to us. And what the enemy will see is the flash of our cannons. They will hear the ring of our swords, and they will know what we can do! By the sweat of our brows, and the strength of our backs, and the courage of our hearts. Gentlemen, hoist the colors.
Hoist the colors.
Hoist the colors.
Hoist the colors!
The wind's on our side, boys! That's all we need!
That's right. We do outspeed a second turn. U-turn is going to be able to kill it. And Mega Scizor comes out cannons ablazing, racking up 3 kills for the second week in a row. and is going to be our MVP with the late game sweep 2 weeks in a row, getting 3 kills back to back to back. So that was awesome. Thank you, Mewtwo fan Nate, for the awesome battle, and the New York Noibats. Go over and check him out. He's an awesome content creator. He makes great stuff. He's a great streamer. Check out his stream and all that jazz. Want to give a huge thank you out to Twigs Crobat, who is also a great streamer. Go check him out. He recorded our match for us this week. Want to give a shout out to Austin, who did our graphics, and a shout out to Arapthos, who helped us put our team together in game. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching. Again, don't forget to leave your post-game press conference questions down below. But we are sitting pretty in the Pony Division with a 4-2 record. This is the best start we've had in the GBA since Season 6, which was our best season to date. So we got to keep our eyes on the future, keep planning good, like I believe we did today. Paid off in the long run. We got a few fortunate burns, which helped out a lot, which I think really, I don't want to say hacks for hacks, but helped us overcome the 2 crits that damage, I believe, mattered. So yeah, really happy about that. And looking to the future, we play Tom and the San Jose Sharpedos next week. Like I said, get those questions down below. Another shout out to Reese and Sloan, our bucktooth buckos of the episode. Alright guys, I've been OldManTup, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.